Good afternoon, everybody. It's 3:17 Sunday afternoon. Yes, it is a little early for a live feed here at Colerain Bowl, but we have a little special event going on today. We have our boys and girls Southwest Ohio All-Star matches going on today, and we're now to the finals of the girls. Right here to my left, I have Matt Hott. Matt Hott is the brainchild of the whole thing. He's going to help do the play-by-play. To my right, we're going to have some loud bowling going on, folks.
Todd, that is one of the main parts about the girls' high school bowling. They lead a lot of the teams in cheers.
Okay. I have it here, so
Am I doing play-by-play, or are you doing?
why don't I do play-by-play? You can announce the teams and stuff. While they're bowling here, they're bowling a best 2 out of 3 match play. Is that correct, Matt?
Yeah, that is correct.
Best 2 out of 3 Baker matches. Matt's going to go through and give you some of the players' names, some of the highlights of today. We had a great accomplishment by one of the female bowlers today.
Yeah,
and I'll try to do the play-by-play over top of what I can see here. It's going to be tough to get some camera angles because they all get into the match and watch.
Paige Whites from Seven Hills earlier today shot a 586 two-game series and walked away with high game 1 and high game 2.
That's ridiculous. We do have the GGCL versus the ECC, which also stands for the Girls Greater Catholic League versus the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. Matt's going to give us the names of the bowlers that are here today.
Yep. Out of the ECC, represented from Milford, you have senior Jessica Haynes, senior Mackenzie Mason, and junior Jessica Norman. Out of Turpin, it's senior Sarah Camello. Out of Anderson, it's senior Samantha Travis. Out of Walnut Hills, it's senior Hannah Freeman. Out of West Claremont, it's junior Taylor Neal and freshman Lexi Stewart. Out of the Girls Greater Catholic League, represented from Seton, you have Avery Nolan, a sophomore, and Maddie Littleman, a sophomore. Out of Mercy, you have sophomore Allie Bragg and junior Kara Campbell. Out of Macaulay, you have junior Ashley Bushman. Senior out of Ursula is Abigail Blackledge. And out of Mount Notre Dame, junior Emily English. And representing Ursuline, senior Rachel Schulte, coached by Todd Baker and Jim Robb.
Guys, while we're watching, like I said, it's going to be loud here around us, so it might be hard to hear Matt and myself. This was just a kind of a brainchild of Matt. We sat together and had a beer and kind of came up with it. And this was all Matt. We put out some feelers to some of the other coaches. They ran with it. And here's the end result. We had about 18 teams begin today. 12 boys, 6 girls. And it really turned out great. So far, everything's run very well. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Some of these kids have so much talent. It's so fun to watch.
Well, and thanks to you guys over at Colerain Bowl for taking care of this and making it run so smoothly. Yeah, all 6 girls teams that came out today were on fire and put up some really good competition numbers. The boys are right now in their round 3 of the semifinals. It's the GWOC North versus the GWOC East. And GWOC West versus the Southwestern Ohio Conference.
We're going to go ahead and have this posted on the Facebook page, but we will transfer this when it's finished from here, and we'll also transfer the boys when they're finished over to the YouTube page so everybody can get to it and see it. You just find it on Todd McGill Tournaments on YouTube. Subscribe to the page. You'll get to see everything that's going on there.
The GGCL needs to close the frame here to keep up with the ECC in Game 1.
Yeah, they're off to a tough start. They were all watching the cameras. I think just over here to the right. We can't see them, but Channel 19's filming this from over here just off of lane 26.
Maddie Littleman puts up the strike there in the 4th frame.
The girls were a little bit in awe looking at all the cameras, and they were like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Well, and it's tough when you're putting together a Baker team, especially late in a tournament. You want to try to put your hottest bowler in anchor, and then, you know, if you've got a bowler that's struggling, some coaches will put them at number 2. I always like to try to put my struggling bowler at number 3 to hope that they get hot, but you want to try to carry over that 4, 5, and 6 frames, especially in Baker games.
Well, I'll tell you, with all the energy in this building today, watching some of these kids, it made me want to get out and bowl today. I thought about it for a second anyway. How's that?
We could have put together an independent team and still probably would have been swept in the first round.
We would have got our butts kicked by these kids.
Allie Bragg closing the frame there in the 5th frame, kind of helping out there with the GGCL. Another tough thing when you're coaching for a Baker tournament or a Baker competition like this is teaching the kids to really not get disappointed with strike shots. You've got to burn your spares together and hope someone gets hot just like that.
Yep, and these Baker matches go quick, and if you're not careful, they'll slip away from you in a hurry.
I can't tell you how many times this season when I was coaching, we won game 1, and then we got into our own heads for game 2, and then game 3 we just couldn't keep up with the dogs. You've got to keep the spares going.
That's awesome. It's awesome. This tournament was the same weekend as we're watching the Team Baker Challenge for the PBA.
Yeah.
Got to watch some of my buddies here on the Philadelphia Hitmen up there bowling. So, guys, if you get a chance to see this, I know the telecast was today anyway. I think it was taped, but if you get to watch this, guys, this is some of the young ladies and young men that'll be gunning for you here. It's in very soon future years. So
2 to 4 years.
Yep. I will ask anybody that's watching, just hit the share button for me. We want to see as much as people see these types of events that we have out here. We have a lot of fun with them, and Matt did a bang-up job putting this together. We do have to give a special shout out to Mickey. Mickey spent extra time in here at night this week entering all the girls' and boys' names, making sure everything was typed in right, making sure everything was spelled right, making sure all the lane movement was right. And I'll tell you what, that makes this thing run smoother than people realize, and just typing in stuff as you go. And had all the scores tabulated, so Mickey, thank you very much.
Sarah Camello right there closing a frame to really keep the ECC in it.
Had one just slide right by. Got about a 10-pin match right now, Matt. GGCL is in the lead by about 10 even after that open.
Like I said, this usually comes down to spare game. You might have a couple kids that can throw a couple of strikes, but you really need to close some frames and just fill them. That's all you need, just fill frames. That's usually what I tell my kids, just fill frames. Anna Freeman with the right side spare here.
I'm going to throw this out there since a lot of these boys and girls, if not just in this match, around the city that are watching or will watch it down the road on YouTube. Every Sunday night we run it's a sweeper. It's $35. For the youth, it's only $30. And it is smart compliant. So if you want to come out bowl on some sports shots, definitely some challenging patterns, and get some experience bowling against some folks, it's a great way to do it. It's every Sunday night at 6:30, and once again, it is smart compliant. Secondly, starting on May 7th, we will have a youth sweeper on Monday nights here at Coring Bowl. It'll start between 6:30, 7 o'clock. Last summer we had our best turnout we had all in the years past that I can think of.
Allie Bragg, the anchor from Mercy, closing the door there for the GGCL in game 1.
But the youth sweepers are going to be on Mondays, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and it's on some sport patterns. It's only $11, and you come in every Monday and get a little competition against some of your other local bowlers.
While we ran out on game 1 here, I just want to run through a couple of the sponsors that help take care of the
Absolutely.
scholarships for this tournament. Jim Pitzer, Realtor out of Coldwell Banker. Bowling this month,
Bill Simsrott.
Fair Calhoun Bowlers Corral, Schmay Plumbing, Alan Runkle, Independent Financial Resource, Johnson Electric Supply Company, and of course Todd McGill Tournaments, getting us either a ball raffle or putting up money for our scholarships today. The kids really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure to help, and I'm sure all the other folks, once they see the kind of turnout and how it all worked out, those gentlemen have all helped with other sponsorships around here, so thanks for continued support for things that we do, and definitely helping out the youth bowlers here today.
So it looks like the GGCL will take this game 1. If I'm the GGCL coach, I'm telling them, hey guys, just stay in your own head, stay on your own frames, close some frames. Don't worry about what they're doing, because the ECC, if I'm their coach, I'm telling them, hey, now we need to be perfect. We need to ground some game, grind it out.
That's right. Most importantly, just have fun with what they're doing too. This was free for all the bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
We donated the lanes out for them to bowl today. And it's worth every penny to not get. As I guess is the way to put it. To watch some of the talent and watch these kids bowl, compete outside of their high school season.
If I'm Coach Baker or Coach Rob for the GGCL, I don't think I make any changes going into this game. I think what I do is I just tell them, hey, keep your same spots, keep the energy going. I think if I'm the ECC coach, Ritzman or Bussell, I may just make a couple changes just to get a couple different attitudes going on to see if I can spark something happening. Todd, I've covered Little League baseball games for ESPN.
I got to run. I'm so sorry. Email me the result. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fox 19 Jeremy was just kind of telling us the highlights for this will be running tonight on the news at 10 o'clock.
That was Fox, which is channel 3, I think, for most people, or 19 if it's, I believe, 19 on DirecTV. But
what I was going to say was I've covered Little League baseball on ESPN. I've done college and high school football and baseball games. And without numbers on the back of jerseys, this might be the hardest sport I've ever had to call or talk about live on air.
All right, the girl with the dark hair and a ponytail. Oh, just made a nice run and a split. That's about the best we could do.
That is a tough shot to do.
I'm not so sure if Dilly Dilly's an appropriate cheer for a high school tournament, but I appreciate it.
We did have to cover up all the stuff on the buckets to make it high school appropriate. Did you mention?
Just got there to the spare. We got just about a dead even match here after a couple frames.
Avery Nolan picking up that left side spare for Seton, or from Seton.
Oh, trip 4.
Hannah Freeman, the senior out of Walnut Hills, helping push the ECC a little farther along.
Good looking shot right there. Sounded like a strike, judging by the crowd.
Ashley Bushman answers for him. You know, this is one of the coolest things about this tournament is seeing teams that usually compete against each other in the same huddle. With me coaching for St. X, it was kind of cool to see some of the St. X, LaSalle, and Elder kids all being under the tutelage of Dave Severs, the Elder coach. And it's the same here with Coach Rob out of Seton.
Yeah, we host several teams here at Coleraine in the matches and such. It's something fun to watch. We didn't have this when I was growing up. We had travel league on Sundays. This would have been a lot of fun. I wish it was around. Of course, you know, when I first started bowling balls were still square, I think, and they were made of cork.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that I was on the first St. Xavier bowling team back in 2001, 2002.
So coached by Alan Runkle, possibly?
Yep. No, it was Coach Derek Murphy my first 2 years.
Okay.
Al Runkle was the senior year. Maddie Littleman picking up a single pin spare. That's hard though. Like when you leave an open in the fifth with your anchor there for the ECC, you're trying to get your team again to just reset and try to push out a couple of close frames. You don't want to leave the opens. You don't want to let opens breed opens.
Yeah. The 6 frame here is a big shot for this team to kind of get themselves back on track, and the match is still pretty even. You got an 8 count up here in the 66 and a fourth with a 8 potential spare. It's going to put about a 4-pin match, so it's still pretty even. So come back with a strike here in the 6 frame on the ECC would put them right back in this.
So I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it looks like the ECC, Coach Ritzman and Coach Bussell letting the GGCL kind of catch up. As a coach myself, I don't think I would do that. I would just kind of push through and try to put the score up for the GGCL to match. You don't want to make your girls or your guys fatigue out or
make
get
them wait.
frozen. Yeah. A tough split there for the ECC.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a run at this.
You know, every pin counts, but I think when you're already down one game to none, it's your 6 frame. I think I'm telling my bowler to try to shoot for it, try to shoot a clean 10 with just a little bit of scrape there on the pin.
Yep.
Normally you're trying to tell them every pin counts, but this,
But now
you have to shoot
it's
for
win or
it.
go home. If I'm not mistaken, Matt, I believe I heard you on 15:30 a.m.
Yeah.
earlier in the week with Lance McAllister. Lance is very active helping out the bowling community. He loves the bowling sport. He loves the bowling community, and he does a lot of things to help us out here. So
Emily English with the big strike from Mount Notre Dame for the
that
GGCL.
was a big strike.
Yeah,
right there.
big shout out to Lance. Thank you for promoting this on there and on his website. You know, trying to get some local media to cover this for us, and hopefully next year it turns into something a little bit more as well.
I said earlier, I don't see any reason why we won't be able to fill this up and fill up the building and just have a full day of fun here. And this was pretty fantastic.
I think if I'm Coach Baker or Coach Rob at this point, I'm trying to just keep the girls calm. Don't get too excited. You've got 4 frames to fill. That's between you and the championship.
Keep going, yeah!
Got a little break there.
Good spare pickup.
Push through there. Just to remind myself and everybody watching, the GGCL did win the first game. And it is best 2 out of 3 games, not total pinfall. So if GGCL wins this match, they're our champions today. So.
And I believe that was actually Taylor Neal from West Claremont that picked up that left side spare for the ECC, and then Avery Nolan just now, the right side spare from Seton.
Ball made a big move back to get to the head pin.
You know, late in the game, there's only so much you can do, and sometimes you just get matched up on the wrong pair. Sometimes you run into a hot team. And it looks like right now the GGCL is just a hot team. They put down the GMC in the previous round.
Oh, wow. That was a flush, high flush 7-pin. That was a very bad break. You just got to keep within yourself, regroup, and make the spare here. Didn't get there. Well, they're down, but they're not out here. These guys are in the 9th and 10th. These young ladies are in the 9th and 10th frame for a reason.
So Ashley Bushman leaving the left side spare there. They can max out 164.
They can go 194.
194, you're right, 194.
The 175 for the ECC. 165, but this is still a pretty important conversion here, and try to put a little pressure on Maddie and the GGCL team. That was a pressure strike right there.
The GCL boys cheering on the GGCL girls are actually louder today than the girls are. Anna Freeman with a good spare kick up for the ECC, but it looks like it's just a little bit too late.
Yep. I believe Maddie Littleman, if I'm not sure, and I think her brothers and possibly the grandfather. I bowled with them back in the day, and she comes from a long line of bowlers, so I'm sure she's picked up the game at a young age. So she looks like she throws it quite well.
Good family. I know the Littlemans from from her brother Zach bowling for me for the last couple of years. Just a good group of kids coming out of there.
Yep. Guys, well, we're doing the live feed here, and we've got the girls finishing up.
And I think that solidifies the game for the GGCL.
Let's see. Quick math tells me she's got to get 2 pins.
The ECC fought all day today. All the girls came out. I'm excited to see who comes back next season and which teams return from the All-Star part. This will be a great thing to keep going for next season.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a good run for the ECC. They have now been eliminated. GGCL is going to be this year's champion for the first All-Star match, and a way to finish with the style with a strike at the end of the game.
So the 2018 All-Star tournaments, the GGCL will take home the gold. The ECC will get their silver medals, and I believe we'll do that presentation before the boys match.
Yeah, we can maybe wait and do them all after.
We'll do it all after.
There's another match over there to do the best 2 out of 3, and as soon as they get finished, we'll be back here. Congratulations to the ECC, to the GGCL and the ECC. We'll be back live here probably in about 15 minutes for the boys finals.